If you've ever had a stomach ulcer, then you know it's very uncomfortable. If you've never had a stomach ulcer, try not to get there. But today we're going to look at the possible cause of stomach ulcer and how we can help people to combat it or to get out of that situation. Um, Stomach ulcer is basically like you have a hole in your stomach. I mean, if you have a stomach ulcer, you're probably not interested in knowing what's the cause. You just want a solution because it's very uncomfortable. But it's actually know what causes it so that you don't get back down that line, right? So I'm gonna start from explaining the cause of stomach ulcer, and then I'm gonna move up to how you can combat it or things that you can use to get out of the situation. Now, stomach ulcers basically means you have a hole or a wound, as in a cut in your stomach, right? That's why when you eat, it burns you because your stomach tries to produce stomach acid, and your stomach acid is very sharp, so it burns you. Now, if you look at stomach acid is made from potassium and sodium and other things, basically. So, potassium chloride, sodium chloride, and other things that comes together to form the hydrochloric acid that makes your stomach acid. So it's pretty sharp. It's normally between 1.5 to 3 on the acidity alkalinity scale, right? So you know the lower on the scale, the more acidic it is. So 1.5 to 3 is pretty sharp, which is why you're able to digest your food so well. So you can imagine how much that would irritate a wound or a cut if you have it on your stomach. You basically have a protective layer called the mucus layer that protects you from that burn when your stomach produces the stomach acid. But now you have a cut or you have a hole in your stomach, and that is all damaged, so you're feeling severe pain. Now, so let's first get to the possible causes of stomach ulcer. I think I've spoken about this in one of my Instagram videos. H. pylori is a suspected cause of stomach ulcer because H. pylori is one thing that tends to develop when you're getting sort of a weak stomach acid situation, and that would suspectedly damage your stomach. That's H. pylori. Another thing we're looking at is poor diet and nutrition. So if your diet is poor, as I've said, there's certain things that forms a protective layer in your stomach to stop that from happening. So if you have a weak if you're eating if you're eating poor food that don't have enough antioxidants, that can also cause damage to your stomach. And this is all happening over time, right? So, and that would also encourage the buildup of low stomach acid, which would also encourage the develop of H. pylori, right? Another thing that has been said to cause stomach ulcer is connected to stress. But as we also know, a stressful situation, a stress in the body causes development of low stomach acid over time. So, for example, if you are stressed, let's just say, because stress is connected to your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system, and your parasympathetic is responsible for rest. It brings your body down in calmness. So, for example, when you eat food, you need to relax to digest the food. But when you're stressed, you don't digest your food properly, right? So, that's how it connects to that. So, now it's also been connected to stress. So, we are looking at all the situations. So, you could be eating a very poor diet that is leading you down the road of not having enough antioxidants, that is also leading you down the road of not getting enough nutrients to make stomach acid, and that's encouraging the buildup of H. pylori and other things that is causing damage in your stomach. Secondly, you could also have been exposed to severe stress regularly, which we don't normally notice, right? Because every day in our life is stress now in the environment we live. There's all kinds of stress. So, which we don't normally notice. So, you could be exposed to these kinds of stress that is also killing your stomach acid because you're maybe not eating, because most people, when they're stressed, they don't eat, or you're not digesting your food properly. This is a buildup of events. It's something that not just, it don't just happen over time. It happens, sorry, it don't just happen suddenly. It happens over time. It's a buildup of events. So when we're looking at that, that's what we're looking at, the causes. One of these things, right, around that side could be causing, or the last one, right, you're eating a huge amount of processed foods, right? Processed foods and grains cause a lot of damage to most people's digestive tract from what I've seen, from complaints I've heard, from things I've read on research studies and things like that. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but these are things that is real, and I've seen it out there, and I've seen it on research literature, on science papers and things like that. Refined foods and grains cause a lot of problems to most people's digestive system. Not everybody, but to most people. So this could also be a situation why you are in the situation you are in. So look at your life and examine yourself and see which one of these things I've said that you're probably exposed to. Now, let's get to the point where we try to help you to see if we can combat this stomach ulcer. Now, cabbage and cabbage juice has compounds in it, and it's been shown in research studies, right, that it has compounds in it that can help combat stomach ulcer. Cabbage and cabbage juice. If you eat that regularly, if you're someone that have cold ulcer, cabbage and cabbage juice will help you a lot. Now, another thing that's been shown to help with stomach ulcer is chlorophyll. Basically, chlorophyll is from plants. We all know that. And if you're eating a lot of fresh green vegetables, you get chlorophyll, because that's where chlorophyll comes from. I think you can buy chlorophyll as a powder in the shops as well, somewhere, or online, but just make sure it's pure chlorophyll. In fact, I would make sure it's pure chlorophyll and it's organic, you know what I mean? And that's probably the only ingredient, or maybe that ingredient. I mean, you have to read the ingredients label, because most of the time, right, these supplement stuff that they make and put in these little bottles, they have so much additives and other things that negates the purpose of what you're taking the thing for. So you want to make sure that you're getting the pure thing, right? So that's 2. 3, we all know that you need to come off that stressful situation. Whatever is causing you stress, you need to run away from it and try to be conscious of yourself. 4, we need to eat a very high nutrient dense diet. So a lot of fresh green vegetables. I mean, a lot of fresh green vegetables, especially cabbage. You need to eat a lot of cabbage to get yourself out of this situation. Anyway, guys, so basically that is what I was going to say today. And hopefully this helps you a lot, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.